Welcome to the Monday, June 16th, 2025 City Council meeting. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 2 is approval of the minutes from the June 2nd meeting.
So moved.
I'll second.
Steve?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And Mary?
Yes. Item number 2 is hearing and public concerns. Mr. Cox?
Got three things. The first is I would like to commend the two officers of the Bryan Police Department who responded to an incident on Huntington Drive yesterday. They were professional, courteous, caring, and the situation was resolved very well.
Thank you.
And again, kudos to those officers. Second, a number of weeks ago, I asked who owned the islands in North, Middle, and South Court. Do you have any information on that?
That wouldn't be us. Yes, Brian, do you know?
It's street right away.
Okay.
We said that last meeting, it was street right away.
So one of the neighbors in the circle obviously is taking it upon themselves to put the flowers in, the planting stuff in the flagpole. So it's someone on that circle probably.
Okay. The third thing that I have is how much notice will the residents of Eastland Estates get for the tar and graveling when it's going to occur so that we can make plans if we have to basically do anything on
You
that?
put door knockers up like the day before?
Probably a day or two before. Yeah. Whenever the contractor gives us a schedule.
Because it's not going to shut the road down, isn't it?
No,
It's
just temporarily.
Yeah.
We'll tar it and stone it, and they can be done in 4 hours like they did 15
Yeah.
years ago. It won't take too long.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be a
That's all I
quick
have for
thing.
tonight. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Thank you. Item number 4 is the clerk's treasurer's report.
Yes. Council's been getting all of the related financial reports, bank reconciliations, bank statements, and some various information I've provided for the month ended May 31st. And I would entertain any questions you have now or at any time in the future, of course.
I don't have any, but I do want to say that publicly, I appreciated your comments. It was helpful in terms of here's what's going on currently. It was very helpful, so thank you for that.
Thank you.
If no one else has anything, I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
And Mary?
Yes. Item number 5 is an ordinance. John, please number and read.
Ordinance number 29, 2025. An ordinance creating a committee of the whole structure for committees of the Bryan City Council, and a reminder that this is a second reading.
If you don't mind, I'd like to make a suggestion to expedite this, if that's all right with the rest of the council. When I was looking over the committees, I noticed there was 5, I'm going to call them substantial committees of the 9. 2 we have nothing to do with, and 2 are extremely minimal in terms of participation. So I was wondering, since we've already assigned was it January, whenever, people to those committees, should we just, each one of us take one of those committees? I could care less who, but as an example, just an example, maybe budget be like Mary Leatherman, finance and audit, Jim, wage, me, tax incentive, Steve, and negotiating, Rick, because we already accepted those anyway, right? And then I thought maybe the revolving, I could care less. I'm just trying to split up load here. The revolving loan fund, maybe me, and the BIPAC, maybe Steve, since those are also very limited, and budget and some others are a little more hefty, negotiating team, et cetera. That's just, so the suggestion is we already have a format. Should we just kind of have those 5 assigned? The second is, I don't care who's assigned to what, I was just making a suggestion.
May I, just for a clarification, on the revolving loan fund and BIPAC, I'm not going to say this is the way we've always done it, but consistently it has been the council president on those 2 committees. A lot of times they deal with economic development, and sometimes it's just easier to have the same person, because a lot of times we're meeting for the same company that we can't disclose a lot of information on. With that being said, revolving loan fund, your choice, but BIPAC, there may be something in the rules that says that's the BPA chair and the council president. Do you recall?
I remember Rhonda telling me that one time.
That's what-
When we were doing
So
committees.
I may have
she
to
had
double
said-
check that one.
Yeah, she had said that it has to be the council president.
Once again, I have no skin in that game.
Absolutely.
I was just making a suggestion to try and split load.
Appreciate
So, I
it.
mean, I have no, Mary can stay with that group and.
Yeah,
do the
I think
revolving.
Mary is the last 2, just keep those the same.
Yeah, because I don't mind being on those, because I've been on the revolving loan for
Okay.
quite a while.
And then the American Disabilities Act, Patrick Thorpe.
That's, yeah, you guys don't have to
Yeah,
touch
we
that
don't.
one.
Okay, so yep,
or
so
Yeah,
that's
prevailing
good.
I'm
wage.
saying 2 of them we have nothing to do with anyway.
Yeah.
So, yep,
So,
and then prevailing wage, that'd be the
Also,
same.
Yep. Those are internal employees
Yes.
in the engineering department.
so it would be like budget, Mary, finance, Jim, me, wage, Steve, tax incentive, and Jim,
And I think you,
no.
Rick.
Rick, excuse me,
Yep.
negotiating team, and then Mary, revolving loan and both BIPAC?
I'll
So
motion to
moved.
approve that.
No?
Who's the, on the tax incentive?
Steve.
Steve?
Steve.
Okay. So it's, budget's Mary.
Yes.
Finance is Jim.
Yes.
Wages John.
Yes.
Tax is Steve.
Yes.
Negotiations is Rick. Revolving is myself, and BIPAC is myself.
Yes, that's
Okay.
what,
Done.
I'm all right with that.
all right.
That works for me.
So can we, again, can we have a motion on the floor to set up the committees of the whole, and then a separate motion for what you just laid out?
Sure. I'll move to have
Approve the ordinance?
yes, to approve the ordinance first.
And I'll
Actually,
second.
Are you going to suspend the rules or go to a 3rd reading?
I'm going to suspend the rules.
And I will second.
John,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
and Mary.
Yes.
And to approve,
No, motion to approve.
I move to approve. And I'll second.
Steve,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
and Mary.
Yes.
Okay, and then there was a motion on the floor, I think by Mr. Kozenpleck, that had Mary Leatherman as budget, Jim Kozenpleck as finance and audit, John Betts as wage, tax incentive review is Steve Osbaugh, negotiations team is Rick Hoopie, and then Mary Leatherman will stay on both revolving loan fund and BIPAC. You got that, Mr. Leonard? Do you need? Okay.
I got it.
I did that mostly because he has to talk and write at the same time, and I feel bad for him.
And I'll second that.
So, yeah, motion to approve the slate as presented. Jim,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
and Mary.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for working through that with us.
Thanks,
Appreciate
John.
it.
Thank you. Number 6 of the resolution. John, please number and read.
Resolution number 23, 2025, a resolution to accept a $35,000 donation from the Bryan Area Foundation to the Parks and Recreation Department for East End Pathway.
Good evening, council.
Evening.
Evening.
Before you should have some information about a $35,000 grant from the Bryan Area Foundation for the East End Park pedestrian path.
Nice.
We would like to thank the foundation for their continued support of our projects. We are excited to get started with this project. We probably will not start much until the kids go back to school, so we're not pouring concrete while the kids are over there trying to play in it. But we are looking forward to adding a pedestrian pathway to the East End Park.
Well, what I've seen looks nice.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great improvement. We are trying to get pedestrian paths in other parks. Obviously, we have them in Moore Rec and Garver. So we would continue like to continue to add those to some of our other parks for the residents in those areas, have places to walk and recreate and bike and walk and, do whatever they want to do, so.
Well, I'll move to suspend.
Second.
Steve,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
and Mary.
Yes.
Move to approve.
And I'll second.
Rick,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
and Mary.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
Item number 7 is an ordinance. John, please number and read.
Ordinance number 32, 2025, an ordinance providing for annual appropriations for the city of Bryan for the fiscal year ending December 31, 2025, and declaring an emergency. So this request, number 1, appropriates the money that you just spoke about, the $35,000 for the pathway. And then it does some housekeeping with regards to the project that we're going to discuss in a few more minutes about replacing the roof shingles on this building. The original budget had $250,000 for this project, but it was budgeted in the capital improvements fund, and the source of funding was to be the 0.5% income tax. We think it's more appropriate that that be funded by the 1% income tax fund rather than the 0.5%.
What makes that so?
The definitions of how those pieces can
thank
be
you.
used.
Good enough.
Yep. And kind of then by definition, we would fund it, we would pay for it out of the general fund rather than the capital improvements fund. So the ordinance takes care of all of that. The net change is 0. Really, the only effective changes were identifying the 1% portion of the tax versus the 0.5% portion of the tax to pay for the new roof on this building that, again, will come up here in another ordinance or two.
Well, I'll move to suspend.
Second.
Rick,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
and Mary.
Yes.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Steve,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
and Mary.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 8 is an ordinance. John, please number and read.
Ordinance number 33, 2025, an ordinance providing for the transfer of funds for the city of Bryan for the month ending June 30th, 2025. So this does a couple of things. Number 1, what I would consider to be on a quarterly basis, we're doing the transfers that were built into the budget to fund operations in the general fund and the streets fund. So we've done a first quarter transfer. This would be the second quarter transfer. And as the year rolls on, we'll determine whether or not all those transfers are necessary. But for now, we're doing the amount as prescribed in the budget. And then in addition to that, it does take care of this transfer of the $250,000 for the
I'll move to suspend.
I'll second.
Jim,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
and Mary.
Yes.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
John,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
and Mary.
Yes. Item number 9 is an ordinance. John, please number and read.
Ordinance number 34, 2025, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Richland Company and Associates Incorporated for the project known as Don North Municipal Building re-roof.
Good evening. If you've looked around the roof of the Don North Building, we miss shingles. Every year we've been replacing them. Building was built in, 98, 99 era, so they were 25-year shingles that lasted 26 or 27 years. We're recommending, though, that we switch to a standing seam metal roof instead of a shingle roof. With the 12-12 roof pitch and the high winds, it just seems that the winds just curl. I mean, I've spent $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 every year patching shingles on there that blow off. So we received 2 bids. We're recommending the lowest and best bid is Richland and Company. Base bid of $238,485 and $10,122 add for a standing seam metal roof to get us to $248,607. And with your permission, I would like to suspend the rules and replace this. Now, again, this is just like the mansard front that goes all the way around the perimeter of the building. This building has a flat roof on top, underneath, and behind all that. So we're not replacing the rubber roof. We're just doing the visible shingles around and replacing it with a darker gray standing seam metal.
Start date about,
It'll take us at least 30 days to get the contracts around, so, I mean, it'll get done this fall.
okay.
I think they have a November 1st completion date, so.
I'll move to suspend.
I'll second.
Rick,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
John,
Yes,
and Mary.
Yes.
move to approve.
And I'll second.
John,
Yes,
Jim,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
and Mary.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
All right,
you.
Thank you.
Item number 10 is an ordinance. John, please number and read.
Ordinance number 35, 2025, an ordinance requiring the Director of Utilities to reject all bids for the sale of the HFC system.
I'm letting Joe know he can come up to the podium. Good evening, Joe.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Sure.
Evening.
The last board meeting that we had, the BPA, we went to them asking them to allow us to reject the bids that we recently received on the HFC conduit system that we placed for bid. And then BPA passed that, and then we wanted to bring that to the council to ask for approval on that. The bid came in far less than what we anticipated. The conduit system is worth far more than what this bid amount was, astronomically more. And we have also learned, since all this process, we have several other locations within the city of Bryan, city departments that we plan to deploy some of this conduit system for more fiber optics to some other locations, especially the city parks, et cetera. So we would like to ask the council this.
So if we approve this, then we're rejecting all bids and the city's going to just hang on to the system.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We will continue to maintain it as we currently do. When we started the process, we thought, well, we're going to have to continue to pay for locates to locate the conduit system. Well, the USIC charges us, the utility, the flat rate for power, communications, and water on the same locate ticket. So we would save no dollars if we didn't have the conduit system. So that's not an extra cost to us.
but what sounds like it's new, at least new to me since the BPA meeting is that there was an additional discovery that you could actually use
Yes. Yes, sir.
some parts of it, which
Yes,
is
sir.
news to me and
Yes,
good,
Yes, sir.
a good thought as well. So I appreciate that.
Yes,
When I was at the meeting, just so y'all know, when he said substantial, it was a very
It was
substantial
Very substantial.
below what the estimate of what it should be sold for was. So, yeah, I would, is this a suspension? So I would move to suspend and go forward with this.
I'd second.
John,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
and Mary.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Jim,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
and Mary.
Yes.
Thank you.
That concludes the items on the agenda, so we'll go around the room. Mayor, do you have anything?
Just a couple things. I was late in this, so all the fathers in the room, happy Father's Day. Hope you had an enjoyable day. It's Sunday, and most of you didn't hear from me, so I consider that a win. Just for the community, the Jubilee is heading into town. The Carnival Ride is actually already here, camped out where they do. Thank you again to BMU for their help getting the power set up to that site for them, for some convenience for the ride company. They will start setting that up, Tuesday night, Wednesday, and so please make sure, one, that you attend the Jubilee and support the chamber, especially with a new director. We need to make sure we all introduce ourselves to her and help her out where we can, and also to make sure that we are focusing on shopping local, stop into the stores this week, because a lot of people do sometimes avoid the downtown. We need to make sure that they see our presence in their restaurants and their shops and are getting the support they need as well. The parade is on Saturday. It begins at 2. Lineup is at 1:30 in the Parkview parking lot. And I do have all of your magnets here, so you can take them before you leave for that, and you're all registered. And then just a reminder, Day in the Park is June 28th. Is it, who are the singers? Because my daughter knows and keeps asking me when they're coming. Is it the Sproul family, something? No, who is it? Yeah, so you go to Fountain City Amphitheater's Facebook page. Jeffrey has booked a great family act for Day in the Park evening. I think that concert begins at 8, sometime in the intermission. The city will be receiving an award for top 5 best hometowns from Ohio Magazine. So excited for that, and then fireworks after. And I think
Concert sponsored by
Spangler?
Spangler Candy.
Yep, this is Spangler Candy's concert. So again, all of the events that are going on at the amphitheater are available on the Fountain City Facebook page and our city website. So feel free to check those out. Those are free events to the public. And we hope that a lot of families come and join us, especially for that day. It should be a lot of fun as long as the weather holds.
Ben, is this an impromptu Taylor Swift concert?
No, I would have,
Just curious.
I won't even be that dumb. I've been to Taylor Swift concerts and there's,
I don't think the
Because we've already get a lot of police, that's all.
I'm just gonna tell you right now. He's like, that retirement date is going to move up before I can actually retire. And the fire chief, just so you know, the guy in the back sitting there quietly, like, he can retire, so let's not push anybody over their limit. All right, so I think that's all I have.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys and the work you do for the community. See you Saturday in the parade.
John, do you have anything?
Nothing else.
Department heads, do you have anything? Newspapers? With that, we will take a motion to go in executive session, discuss confidential business information of an applicant for economic development assistance.
So moved.
Yep.
Everybody.
Rick, go Rick.
Steve,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
and Mary.
Yes.